Now on CoastTV News.
Dredging preparations, when work begins here and for how long in OC?
A pipe moving sand from the south end of the inlet to the north end, why DNREC says this project is protecting beaches.
An immigration bill in the first state becomes law.
And storms are brewing to our west. Brace yourself for a thunderstorm or two for tonight.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Boats sailing past an area that caused problems just last week. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with plans to fix the waterways near the inlet after two boats got stuck in just 24 hours.
The emergency dredging project was scheduled for July 21st, but it was pushed up to this week. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in West Ocean City. Kevin, people can expect the work to start this Tuesday.
Maddie, right behind me is the area the Army Corps of Engineers plan to dredge, and the boat that'll get the job done is on the way. Gregory Dorn has spent over 30 years sailing in Ocean City and says the sand has filled up so much that even experienced boaters are getting stuck.
My neighbor down here has been a monster on the water for at least 15 years, and he got stuck the other day. First time ever.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers plans to fix that. Starting Tuesday, the Merritt boat will begin dredging the bay near West Ocean City and the inlet. They plan to dredge 7,500 cubic yards of material ahead of the bill fishing tournament, the White Marlin Open.
I think if it's going to be done, and it should, it's a great idea to do it before that.
And while some people are excited for the project to start, some boaters we spoke with off camera are skeptical, saying the sand will fill right back up or that the project is not needed altogether. One local tow boating company in the area told Coast TV that they haven't seen much of an increase in boats getting stuck, and says as long as you follow the channel markers, you should be just fine. But Dorn disagrees, saying the channel markers are not as helpful as you might think.
There is less boatable water than I've ever seen. The channels are too tight, and even where the markers are and the charts are, you still hit ground.
The work is expected to take 8 to 10 days. Now, the dredging project is scheduled to start this Tuesday, and they'll be doing 12-hour shifts throughout the day to get the job done. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in West Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Just last week, a sailboat was stuck in the exact area they're planning to dredge. You can see it here now. Everybody was able to get off the boat safely, but for all the boats coming in early August for the White Marlin Open, they say this will help first responders get to them and help others from getting stuck.
We are now 3 days removed from a swimmer gone missing in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday morning just after 11. That is when the search was suspended. The Rehoboth Beach Police Department was called to the beach Saturday night near Olive Avenue for a report of a missing swimmer. Both state police helicopters and the Coast Guard were involved in the search. This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, when do you feel safest swimming in the ocean?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Pretty split here. 37% say never, 27% say near a lot of people, 21% say the morning, and 15% say the off-season.
If you haven't voted yet, or if you want to leave a comment, go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Beachgoers at the Delaware Seashore State Park are seeing temporary closures and warning signs on the south end of the inlet. That's because DNREC is testing new equipment to move sand from the south end of the inlet to the north end. They say this is going to help restore and protect the coastline. Some beachgoers Coast TV spoke with didn't seem to be too bothered by the ongoing project.
They have it looking really nice, so you can kind of hardly tell there's anything big going on. We were here last year a couple times, and this north area looks a lot nicer. They've planted grasses to help fight the erosion. I think it's cool.
The testing is expected to last 4 weeks. It will run Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're taking a live look into Ocean View right now as we get ready to check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. And Paul, Can't really tell there, but I know you're watching weather coming our way.
Yeah, because things are going to start changing for us, particularly right around the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to see some storms brewing just to our west. But for example, in Laurel, we're starting to see actually one of the storms is just popping up just randomly by itself close to the Laurel area right now. I'll show you in a moment. But we are expecting for it to stay relatively quiet until 9 o'clock. After the 9 o'clock hour, there's no guarantee that it'll be a quiet night for it. In fact, expect for it to rumble a bit for you. Take a look at where we are right now. We're at 85 degrees in Long Neck as well as Millsboro, 84 in Dagsboro, 86 in Gumboro and Delmar. Now that's the air temperature. The dew point temperatures, this is crazy to me right here. You see this? 78. That's crazy moisture. I don't even remember seeing that in Mississippi. And that's, humidity heaven, right? So anyway, here's a look at the isolated cell I was just telling you about. It's now moving from Hardscrabble up towards Gum Crossroads, and it's going to be moving right along Highway 18, headed towards the Georgetown and the Redden area. I believe the center part of this storm is going to actually dance around just outskirts of Georgetown and head towards Redden and then up towards Beaver Dam Road. That being the case, we have active flood watch in effect for Dorchester as well as Wacomico County from Cambridge all the way towards the Salisbury area. The threat of possible thunderstorms is going to stay very much real for us. As far as this evening is concerned, listen, we're going to watch out for scattered showers. Now, we're looking for thunderstorms to really fire off into the late night, early morning hours, and we're going to be watching out for that as a real possibility and a likelihood. So here's the thing. We're unsettled for the start of the week. However, we're looking for that flash flooding threat, and last but not least, we're watching out for sweltering heat to follow behind all of this stormy weather, Maddie.
Paul, thank you. Dozens of people in need gathered in Georgetown today, hoping for a clean start to their day. The United Church of Delaware brought its mobile shower trailer to the Shepherd's office, giving those experiencing homelessness a chance to clean up and feel refreshed. Along with showers, guests got essential items like clothing, hygiene kits, even haircuts. Organizers say these small acts provide more than just physical relief.
It really can bring people's hope back if they can take a shower and just get a fresher start, to their day.
The United Church of Delaware says the shower trailer is stationed weekly in Lewis, and they plan to expand services in Georgetown and the whole state in the near future.
We now know the identity of the person who drove off the Delaware Memorial Bridge on Friday. The Delaware River and Bay Authority says on a bobtail tractor trailer cab, it crossed 3 lines on the bridge, smashed through a concrete wall. Recovery operations took days. Officials identified the driver as 35-year-old Zaire Mirzakov of Brooklyn, New York. What led up to the crash, that is still under investigation.
From July 9th through the 12th, Maryland State Police say they arrested 9 people for suspected drunk driving. Police also responded to 10 DUI-related crashes. 4 of those involved more than one car. Officers reminding everyone to drive safely, never drive drunk, and always use a ride service taxi or sober driver if you need to.
A number of Democratic-led states are suing the Trump administration. They're trying to unfreeze nearly $7 billion in public education money. The states are accusing the department of unlawfully locking up funds that Congress set aside to help low-income and immigrant students. New tonight, 50 days. That's what President Trump is giving Russia to end this war, or else. The president seeming to change his tone on dealings with Russian President Putin, saying that he talks nice, but then bombs another city.
NBC's Julie Sirkin shows us this comes at the same time the president is ramping up trade battles with allies.
And I'm disappointed in President Putin.
President Trump in Washington today tackling 2 issues abroad. First, delivering an ultimatum to Russia, and the war soon or face more financial pain.
We're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs.
Those secondary tariffs would be imposed on countries doing business with Russia, which sells a lot of oil and natural gas around the world. Trump hosting NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte at the White House, also announcing a deal to send Patriot missiles to Ukraine through the European alliance.
This is billions of dollars worth of military equipment is going to be purchased from the United States, going to NATO, etc. And that's going to be quickly distributed to the battlefield.
The president not shy about his frustration that negotiations with Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war are going nowhere.
And I always hang up and say, well, that was a nice phone call. And then missiles are launched into Kiev or some other city.
Trump's new threats come as he ramps up his trade war with allies. Over the weekend, the White House slapping a 30% tariff on goods from the EU starting August 1st, leaving trade negotiators scrambling and threatening retaliation against the U.S.
I must say, member states find absolutely unacceptable and unjustified.
That same tariff at 30% also placed on U.S. neighbor to the south and a top trade partner, Mexico. The U.S. relies on auto parts from Mexico to build cars in America. The president warned any retaliation will be met with even higher tariffs. Now here on Capitol Hill, there is a bipartisan effort to sanction Russia. That bill slowly making its way through the Senate. The two people behind that effort, Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal, releasing a statement moments ago applauding the president's announcement today. Their effort that has 85 co-sponsors in the Senate would give the president the power to impose a 500% tariff on some countries that buy Russian oil, gas, and other goods. In Washington, Julie Sturkin, NBC News.
The historic Grand Canyon Lodge destroyed by the Dragon Bravo wildfire. How many acres? The fire's already burned.
Anticipate a booming situation by later tonight as we track some strong thunderstorms headed in our direction.
But first, an immigration bill in Delaware, now law, why it's splitting opinions, up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
A bill that prohibits Delaware law enforcement agencies from entering into agreements with federal immigration authorities, that's now law.
The law specifically applies to violations and data about the individuals in question, even if it's not related to immigration.
Telemundo Del Marva and Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman is in the newsroom. Ana Sofia, Camden police had signed an agreement like this before the bill.
Maddie, the Camden Police Department withdrew the agreement following community pushback. I spoke today with people who are on both sides of the issue. On your screen now is the moment Delaware Governor Matt Meyer signed House Bill 182 into law. Those in favor say banning agreements protects and brings peace to the immigrant community, but others say it oversteps.
To be here illegally is a federal crime. So ICE has law enforcement authority over that crime. And for the states to try to circumvent that it's stupid.
They'll have tons of relief knowing that they can go outside and knowing where ICE is since they have their cars and everything, and know that local police officers can't, like I said, act as one of them and have more relief in going outdoors and not being scared of just staying home and not going to work.
According to the ACLU of Delaware, the first state joined states like New Jersey, Illinois, and Connecticut in banning this type of agreement. Back to you.
Bay forecast, let's watch out for thunderstorms for Tuesday as well as Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see some scattered showers. But when we come back, we need to talk about the stormy weather we expect for tonight. So we've done a couple of model runs. It's become very interesting how it's just ebbing and flowing as far as the amount of intensity of the storms we're expecting for tonight and the timing thereof. But we're going to go ahead and narrow things down so we can get a clear view as to what to anticipate. But let me put it to you this way. We're going to need some umbrellas throughout the entire work week, and then it's going to get really steamy right behind that. But right now, in Lewis, 88 degrees right now. Glorious sunshine, but that's going to provide some fuel for these storms to kind of gobble up throughout the late night hours. So we are watching out for thunderstorms to form rather quickly there. We're at 84 degrees in Long Neck, 90 in Redden, 82 right now in Georgetown. Dew point temperatures elevated, and I show this because it's just showing a remarkable amount of moisture content in the atmosphere that's prior to the trough or the frontal boundary pushing through. Now this is just the trough, all right? Think of it as the little brother, okay? Cold front, big brother, trough, little brother. So the little brother's picking a fight in the atmosphere right now, sliding across Baltimore and all that kind of stuff. Has already prompted some concern for flash flooding, warnings throughout northern portions of Newcastle, just as a context here as to what's headed in our direction. And it's just starting to get things going here. Now, we do have an active flood watch for places like Cambridge, Andrews, Gum Swamp, Mardella Springs, but also the most southern portion of our viewing area as well. And there's a little wider view of what's happening. We got a little spot that's popping up right there that's beginning to pick up a little momentum. Tonight, I was concerned about having the storms hit by about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Now this latest run is indicating at 10:30 when we'll start seeing some storms fire up in Seaford and along Highway 13 and in Salisbury. Even with that being the case, we're still expecting to melt through pretty quickly, and then another wave to pop off really to our north, and then perhaps some scattered showers behind it. So overnight lows will be in the 70s. And then another one of our models indicating once at 11 o'clock. Now I'm using these two models, and typically I don't use two models when I do one forecast, but I'm comparing the two. So I have 10:30 with one, 11 o'clock with the other. Let's split the two, okay? 10:45, let's say. So along Highway 13, 10:45 from Del Mar to Seaford, let's watch out for those storms, okay? And as they begin to kind of push on through and then get out of the way. Now, as far as Tuesday is concerned, we have temperatures well into the 80s, and we're watching out for another round of thunderstorms. A good friend of mine asked, why are we expecting the storms in the morning time? Not necessarily when you're up, unless you're on a third shift or something. Like when the sun comes up, we'll get a bit of a break, okay? But we are going to have enough warmth here to allow winds out of the west at 8 to 16 miles per hour. 86 in Vienna, 87 in Cambridge, and then we anticipate a high of 86 for Berlin. Then we have our 5-day rain chance. We keep at least a 40% chance of rain for Tuesday, then a really elevated chance for Friday going into Saturday. Wednesday, widespread rain kicks in again. Thursday, lighter showers, but still there. Friday, another area of rain with it being heavy to our south. We're going to get hit with wave upon wave of rain to the point that flooding is going to be a main concern for the next 4 to 5 days in a row. Ironic, right? Last year it was drought. This year it's flooding. Tuesday, look for widespread scattered showers in Chincoteague, Assateague, and then in Fenwick Island as well as Ocean City. Heavier showers on Tuesday, but still some leftover rain for Wednesday. And we anticipate scattered showers for Tuesday with isolated thunderstorms in Lewis and in Rehoboth. And we're looking for another slice of that on Wednesday and a few lingering sprinkles on Thursday. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. Listen, bottom line is this. Mainly in the afternoon, folks, we're watching out for thunderstorms, and Thursday is going to be a steam bath and a half.
Thank you, Paul. The historic Grand Canyon Lodge, it's been destroyed by the Dragon Bravo wildfire. The fires have already burned over 5,000 acres of federal land. Officials say about 50 other homes and businesses were also lost as the fire continues to spread along the north rim of the canyon. It's too soon to tell the full scope of the damage.
Taking a big chunk of the park and taking it offline for at least a couple of years.
The fire was ignited 9 days ago by a lightning strike. It's the gusty winds and triple-digit temperatures that are making containment difficult. The region will remain under a heat warning throughout this Wednesday.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 6:15, live Maryland Supreme Boys Basketball League. Then at 10:30, the final score. Over on DSN Plus, along with that basketball game, you can watch these exclusives all at 6. It's high school girls basketball at Crown Sports Center. There's also high school boys lacrosse at DE Turf.
Coming up, Columbia University close to striking a deal with the Trump administration. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
Columbia University is close to striking a deal with the Trump administration. The school is expected to pay a multi-million-dollar settlement over alleged civil rights violations, revise its diversity and inclusion policies, increase transparency in hiring and admissions, and improve campus safety for Jewish students. The deal would help the university regain access to over $400 million in federal money that was cut earlier this year by the Trump administration. New tonight, a major ruling from the Supreme Court that will impact the future of the Department of Education. On Monday, justices ruled the administration can proceed with its plan to carry off mass layoffs at the Department of Education. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, one of the 3 dissenting judges, said the decision could have big consequences to the Constitution's separation of powers because the agency can only be dismantled by Congress. But lawyers for the Trump administration say they're not closing the department, they're just downsizing it.
The World Health Organization now recommending that countries around the world include a newly approved drug for HIV prevention. It's called lenacapavir. In trials, lenacapavir was found to dramatically reduce the risk of infection and provide almost total protection against HIV.
Taking one more live look outside into Lewis, one more check on your forecast is after this.
Right now, a bit on the humid side, 83 ocean view, courtesy of our gutter helmet camera will drop down to 80 degrees by 8 o'clock. And our umbrella winner is actually Lori Palmer of Seaford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.